want to give you a little bit more information on how many students would be directly impacted by each program elimination, to give you more information regarding your options. Go ahead. Well, that's really blurry. Okay, so
That's out of my scope.
what that is
Did we bring copies of that?
I did not. I can bring it up on my Excel though. Yeah, let me do that.
What we did is, we went back and we took a look at the amount of money that the booster clubs have contributed to the sports. And I can speak generically. Going back to Aaron's first slide, and I want to make sure, we're not suggesting that we cut those three, the extracurriculars. We just listed three to give you an idea of the cost. The lacrosse and cross country, and I can't think of what the third one was that was up there. Okay, that comes out to about $47,000, because I think there's some misconception that eliminating some of these is going to save a lot of money. Now there's other big ticketed items, and you look at your football and your basketball programs, and we'll show you how much those boosters have contributed to those programs over the years, because we have cut back on extracurricular and athletic budgets, and I have our athletic director here who can answer some questions and knows a lot more about the booster contributions in these areas than I can speak to. But go ahead, that looks better there.
Yeah, no, so as it was requested, we were kind of looking at what is the total cost per sport. And I took it a little bit further on the booster contributions for this. And at the end of the day, what we're looking at here is our total district cost. Then I'm talking about the revenue generated for each sport. Keep in mind, the reason why this is highlighted is this revenue generated is earmarked to replace the turf. And then you have your participation fee, and then so it gives us a total district cost, obviously total less the revenue, gives us our district cost, and then your booster contribution. I did have this broken up by girls and boys. Liz, can you scroll down to the bottom?
Sure.
Yeah, keep going. All right. So what this is this actually, these numbers will actually tie into our Title IX report reported for the 14-15 year. Our revenue numbers are based on this year to kind of give you a general idea, but I wanted to be able to tie back to the additional some reports that we actually submit. So as you can see here, this is refunds that we issued for kids that may have tried out that we ended up reissuing, and then we have you pay one flat fee for the entire year. You can participate in as many sports programs you want. It's one flat fee. So what I did here is, as far as calculating how I had to go, this is how many were enrolled, multiply it out by a rate. Well, it cost us actually about $12,284 because we have one flat fee. If we did it by per sport or activity, you would see an additional $12,284. However, needless to say, we generated about $93,000 in gate receipts. We generated about $488,000 in participation fees. Our total district cost is now at about $1,016,000. Our booster contribution is 50% of that, $526,000. That was in the 14-15 school year. They contributed that much to our programs, which is primarily, our boosters are picking up the tab on why we spend one of the least in Erie County as it relates to extracurriculars per student. Jump back into the slideshow, would you? Any questions with this?
Go up, it's up, go up, it's up top.
This is girls down at the bottom.
Oh, okay, gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha, gotcha.
football, there you go.
So, Aaron,
Football's right here.
Aaron, I got a question. You have a total down there for the boosters, but not every single, like wrestling has, does that say 33,000?
Correct.
Okay, so that's their boosters, and then, but then you look right above it for volleyball, they don't have a boosters, so not every
Correct.
Correct.
group has a boosters, but not that they wouldn't get one if they knew they needed to.
That's a fair statement.
Aaron, could you go left or right, just on one of those? Get the headers on it so I can get a hand.
Which way do you want me to?
Put some pressure on Dr. Data Show.
Done her job.
She's like, where's Tom?
Just go across one line item. just for clarity. One that has all the numbers in it.
And I can tell you, as a former cross-country parent, we work very hard to raise $4,000, I'll tell you that.
Now, the items that you are blanked out, rifle, things like that, are those programs that no longer exist?
I'm sorry, say that one more time?
He's asking about the
Yeah,
rifle.
like rifle and gymnastics.
Correct,
There's not field hockey. Does that mean there's no longer a program for that?
correct.
Field, okay.
Right, Mark? We don't have
We don't, never had before, so we used to have gymnastics years ago. I
Right.
don't know if we've ever had rifle or field hockey.
Okay. You don't need it. Okay, so let's take a look at our academic extracurriculars. We have academic sports league, PJAS, academic chat competitions, robotics, jets, Lego league, speech and debate, so on and so forth. So what I try to do,
Hey, go back to
Go
that.
back.
Yeah, don't go so fast. Just to point out, because when we talk about our competitive teams, we have competitive athletic teams and we have competitive academic teams. Those get lumped together, I believe, in the fund, correct? So when you're looking at that number, that's also supporting our competitive academic teams as well.
so as you look through here, you can see the listing of them, the cost associated with those, the revenue, which is a per participant fee that we charge to give you the net to the district cost. And that says $281,000 for these. As we were looking at athletics, I thought it was important that we do look at our extracurricular academics as well. Any questions regarding this?
Is there any suggestion from the Mill Creek School Foundation, Education Foundation, that they could grant the various extracurriculars, whether it's, I would like to see personally academics
Are you
being supported.
speaking of providing grants? Is that what you're asking if
Yes.
they would? And that's a good point, because I'm glad you brought that up. There are boosters or student activity accounts that are associated with these. There's only 3 of them. You have band, CPA, and honors college. Or band and CPA each one have their own boosters or a student activity account, some of them others. Those are the big ones. And then honors college, we do get, I think it's EITC grant from the foundation. I believe it was about $12,000 this past year, for which we are earmarking those funds strictly for honors college. So we do receive one. Additional ones, I can look into that.
I know you mentioned before about asking them if they would fund extracurriculars, and I think if Chris were here, is Chris here?
I'm here.
No. I was gonna say, I don't want to put words in your mouth, so I'll let you go ahead and speak to that.
Well, yes, EITC, one of the things that we're looking at is,
Yeah, is that the earned income tax credit?
yes, for Pennsylvania.
For
We're looking
Pennsylvania.
at revising some of the programs to include things, particularly as we're learning about them, ones that came in for grant requests with the most recent one, like the robotics team asked for funding, and we thought maybe there was some way that EITC, so we're looking at some possibilities. But yes, the Honors College and CPA are programs that are approved by the state to receive EITC funding. But in terms of supporting them, I mean, it would depend on, whether our committee decides whether they are fit within our guidelines of our mission, which is educational improvement, enhancements, some capital. So it's certainly possibilities.
Thank you, Chris. You've had something like $1 million in the foundation for the past 5-6 years?
Restricted funding.
Restricted funding?
Yes. Most of them are named funds, many of them are restricted solely for student scholarships.
Thank you. Thank you.
Last slide. Okay, so we've had a lot of questions regarding the projects happening up at McDowell. And as we presented a while ago, we had Project 1. And Project 1 was a total of $2.4 million. What does that Project 1 comprise of? It was moving the west parking lot. Moving the parking lot to the west. That is